Brandon, hey, first of all, congratulations for winning the 15th season of America's Got Talent.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Do you realize how much you mean to the spoken word community after that win?
Uh, in a sense, I do. In a sense, I don't. Some of the spoken word community has told me like, "Yo, like you're our representative now. Like you're the one." And in that sense, like I wear I wear that badge with pride to be able to say like I did something for the spoken word community that nobody had ever done. But also, I know that there's still so much more work for me to do. Like, in no way, shape, or form am I the best poet in the world. I'm just, I'm hungry to be the best, which is, I guess, the best position to be in.
Now, for a lot of people who not aware of the spoken word community, what does this community mean to you, and how do people get started in something like this?
Yeah, in terms of getting started in the community, honestly, it just starts with writing. I mean, like I think a lot of people think that you have to be this finished product once you get started and that you have to be like super great in the beginning. And that's not my experience. I sucked in the very beginning of it. And it really took me time to be able to learn, grow, and develop my gift through trial and error. Um, and that's why the community means a lot to me. I mean, every community has its flaws, and spoken word is not, absent of its flaws, but it's a really beautiful place that I found for people to be able to not only just find catharsis, but be able to find people who have resonant and similar stories to themselves and be able to find a home where they may not have had one before.
I've seen a few of your performances on last year's AGT, which is quite touching in so many ways. How long did it take you to basically develop the way to address your poems?
Years. I mean, I think as artists, we all kind of in the beginning mimic those in which we love. You know what I mean? Like we are bootleg versions of another person who we admire. So like for years, I was like a bootleg version of Rudy Francisco because he was the poet who I researched and looked up the most. And then it comes a point where you develop and find your own voice of what sounds good to you, what feels good to you, and learning to develop like who you are as an artist and who you are as a person. And yeah, I think for myself, like it it was, 2012 was the beginning, and I would say, it's been a 9-year progression and still progressing.
Now, what initiated you to audition for America's Got Talent? And correct me if I'm wrong. Was this the second time you tried to go on the show?
Yes, so in 2017, I tried out for the show and did not make the show at all. Um, the way I found out I didn't make the show was a commercial came on, and somebody who I auditioned with was on the commercial, and I was like, "Oh, yep, I didn't make it." But I it's interesting because people ask like, "Why AGT?" And I'm like, "Well, where else would I have gone? Like, there's no other platform on national television that I could have run to. Like there used to be, you know, Def Poetry Jam, which no longer exists. Like singers can go to The Voice, they can go to American Idol, dancers can go to, America's Best Dance Crew or whatever other dancing show they have. Like poets, we're the variety act on America's Got Talent because it's the home for any and all forms of talent and art in the world. And that's why I'm grateful for a show like AGT, because in a world of unconventional, unique talents, spoken word, as conventional as it may seem in terms of just sharing words, it didn't have a place to run to, and they gave it a place to run to.
What was that experience like for millions of fans who don't know what's it like to be on that stage? Did you have butterflies or? Well, I mean, I guess during the pandemic, it's a different type of experience, right?
Yeah, it's a different type of experience, but I think this is a statement I live by. You only get nervous about things you care about. So I'm like, anytime I had butterflies or nerves, I'm like, it's only because I care about the outcome. It's only because I care whether or not this works out well. I'm like, so lean into that, embrace it, and allow for it to make you better. And that's kind of what I tried to stick to, was just utilizing every moment that I had in front of me to help make me better.
Did you have some kind of strategy versus these judges when you stood up on that stage, or was there a particular judge that kind of worried you in his own or her way?
No strategy, no fears, just go be Brandon. Go do what you've done, and if they love you for it, they love you for it. If they don't, they don't. But you know that you were yourself, and you can stand on that, because if I tried to be anybody else, I'd regret it, knowing that I could have potentially won being me. And I'm just really happy that I won being me.
So when you hear those comments, and then I think Howie gave you the golden buzzer, you must have been elated, flying through the air then.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Cause like you know, I never saw myself, like I could see myself winning in terms of, like the talent part of it, right? Like, cause I'm like, yo, like I know that what I bring to the stage is unique. But also at the same time, I'm like, the first time that these people are hearing this art form may not resonate the same way that, like people who are attuned to this type of art usually resonate with it. So it's it may fall on deaf ear. It may not resonate the way that I hoped it would. So you have those thoughts, but you have those thoughts every time you walk on stage. You never know how anybody's going to respond to what you throw up there. So you just kind of leave it out there for the world to be able to judge, and then just say, hey, I did my best.
I love the way how when they announced you're the winner and you pounded the pavement for a while. So that I knew that you were the best winner in that case. Has ever since winning, has AGT changed your life? How did it change your life?
In a lot of ways it changed it, and in a lot of ways it didn't. It changed my life in the sense that, like, I have more access to do things that I love. I'm directing a short film that I wrote entitled Complexity. It'll be coming out in December or January. I'm releasing a book of poetry come January. I'm doing a tour in partnership with United Way called the Mosaic Tour, from essentially like Sacramento area all the way down to Bakersfield, with colleges and high schools and middle schools. So if you're watching and listening to this and you'd like to bring me out to your school to be a part of our Mosaic Tour, please hit me up on my website. And so, like, in that way, like, yeah, my life is flipped, turned upside down, and, to quote Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But in a lot of ways, my life is the exact same. Like, I get the chance to be a husband, a father, a son, a brother, in all the ways that I've always loved being Brandon. And that's kind of what I'm most proud of.
And in any case, the new season is going to start pretty soon for America's Got Talent. What advice do you have for those contestants?
Yes, so new season's coming. August, I'll be on the show, so you can look forward to hearing another spoken word piece from me on good old AGT. My advice to these contestants, honestly, is just be diligent, practice as much as you can, make sure that you are putting your time in and effort in to be as skilled and as prepared as you possibly can be. Get your rest, because you're going to need it, and then be you. Like, people fall in love not just with the artist's art, but with the artists themselves, and give them the full version of who you are, so that way they can give you a fair shot to be loved for who you are. That'd be my advice.
That is some terrific advice. And one more thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have strong connections to the Stockton area in the Central Valley of California?
Yeah, I live in Stockton, born and raised here.
Well, I just want to give you a shout out, because I am calling you from Fresno, just down the 99. So thanks for representing the Central Valley.
Anytime. And yeah, we'll actually be bringing that Mosaic Tour to Fresno. So I'm super excited for that. So maybe when I'm out in your area, we can go grab a bite to eat.
Let's do that. Hey, thank you very much, Brandon. Appreciate talking with you about America's Got Talent.
Thank you.
Thank you.